Hey guys, it's your girl Nia J, and welcome to another episode of the Godbraced Mamas podcast, where we empower and embrace all moms to thrive in love and faith, one story at a time. Hi guys! So we're finally on to our second episode, and let me just say, this episode is late. I promise you I'm not going to go weeks without posting another episode. I went on a family trip, and that's what happened. So now we can also now talk. Also, I didn't get any emails, so if you guys are looking to tell your story here and you don't know what this podcast is about, I am looking to tell mothers' stories, whether that is postpartum, pregnancy, motherhood, whatever story you're wanting to tell. I believe it should be heard, and I want to tell it here if you will let me and if you trust me. I do explain more and talk about more in the first episode, if you would like to go and find that episode before watching this one. But today, since I didn't get any emails, I was scrolling on TikTok and I found this post from this woman. Her TikTok is Nails by Che. It's CHEYY. And it says, "Mom to mom, when did you realize you were going through postpartum depression?" And I want to talk about this post specifically because it's not pertaining to one person. I don't want to go and, mostly tell people stories and they don't know that I'm telling their story. I would like to not have to do that. So we're going to start here and hopefully get some stories rolling in after. Once you guys realize this is truly a safe place, and I promise this, I'm not here to judge anyone or talk bad about anyone. I really want to know and to inform and encourage other people about motherhood and postpartum and pregnancy, which these stories of how people realized that they had postpartum depression is sad. So we're just going to go through a couple of them and we're going to talk about them. And that's what this podcast episode is going to be about. Hopefully the next episode will be me telling your story. So the first one says, when I felt overstimulated with everything. Also, no one talks about postpartum rage or pregnancy rage either. Now, I can't really speak about pregnancy rage or postpartum rage. I didn't go through that, so I can't speak much on it, but there are so many women in these comments commenting about having pregnancy rage or postpartum rage, even to the point to where a woman was like, I realized that I had it when intrusive thoughts came. Also, a woman said when she understood why some women, their babies, and that really struck me, which is what really brought me to come actually sit down and make this video about postpartum, because I'm not, people started to judge her in the comments for saying that. I'm not going to do that. I truly hope that God has attacked her with his Holy Spirit and gave her peace and a sound mind, because so many people are like, that's horrible. And some people are like, well, therapist said it's okay as long as you don't act on it. And it's not that it's okay. It's not that it's okay. It's the fact that multiple women probably have felt that. And so it's common, but it's not something that is okay or should be normalized. It's okay to know that you need help. And I want other people to know that they should be comfortable in being able to say that they need help because I have this thought or this has crossed my mind. Because women of God, we can pray about it or we can talk to a therapist. There's nothing wrong with going to a therapist or especially talking to God about these thoughts because he gifted you your baby, and it is okay. It is okay that you can come and speak to someone and talk to someone, or people just need an outlet, which is why I am also doing this podcast, because so many people need an outlet just to say what's on their mind, just to talk about it, just to let other people know that they're not alone. And so if you've had these thoughts, I would love for you to comment how you got over them so other women can also get over those thoughts. She said she got over it. She said it's been like 7 years and her child is the best thing that she's ever had. And I think about the mothers that actually did act on those thoughts and what would have happened if they just talked about it, or if they had the presence of God in their life. You know what I mean? Like, not to say that they didn't, because maybe they did and it just wasn't strong enough at the time. But there are so many things that you can do now, especially in 2025, to help you with those thoughts. And I hope that really people are realizing that they have so many other options. This one says, I had an out-of-body experience feeling like I didn't belong, having anger feelings towards my husband for no reason, and just being overwhelmed and overstimulated with my baby, pretty much crying all the time. That's a lot of people's story as well. That, they're so angry at their husband and they're angry because the baby's crying. Like, everything just makes them angry. And that is something, y'all, when I tell you, like, you can pray it off or have someone pray it off for you. And I'm not saying that it's easy at all or that the prayer is going to work like instantly. But when I first had my baby, and this is going to be a smidge part of my postpartum story. This is a big part of my postpartum story, actually. I came home and I'm like, I am a 21-year-old and I had to come back home to move in with my mom because I was in college and my boyfriend lived in Muncie, and I just didn't have any other options but to come back home and try to be a mom and whatever that meant. And so I wasn't depressed. Like, I wasn't deep into depression, but I was tremendously sad. Like, I was so sad. I literally just sat in my room. I put my baby in his bassinet and I'm looking at him and I just cried. Like, I literally just bust out in tears because what am I supposed to do? Like, what am I supposed to do? I am a 21-year-old who wanted to be in college, experiencing college life, finish her degree, and now I'm at home stuck with the baby, having to go to school online. I wasn't angry because I knew that what happened was one, that it had to happen, and two, it was a call to obedience because I wasn't being obedient. But on the flip side, I wasn't thinking about that at that time. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? So I'm just crying and I'm crying. My mom comes into my room and she's just hugging me and she's like, you're gonna be okay. Like, you are okay. And I promise you, if I did not have my mom, and that's why I say being at home is an experience itself, but if I didn't have my mom for the first 2 weeks, I probably would have went into a deep depression. And so I understand how people get there, because you feel alone. And although I had my mom, it's not like I didn't feel alone. It's just I still had somebody else's presence there to help me. So I didn't feel as alone. But being in that setting with just me and my baby as a new mom was like, there's no way this is my life. And I literally said that to my mom. I'm like, this is my life. Like, this is not how I imagined becoming a mother. This is not how I imagined this would feel like. Like, I just didn't imagine life being this way. And so that sent me down a road where it was just like, okay, it's okay. You're going to be fine eventually. But I was not okay in that moment. And so I do understand how people get there and how it feels to be in a setting where thinking about being a mom is like, this is a joke. This is a joke, because I was not ready for this. I was not prepared for this. I did not want to become a mom yet. And so imagine all of that on top. And then it's also like, I didn't want to have to move back in at home and feel like I was a burden, or it was just so many things. And I literally had to just pray and thank God throughout the whole thing. And that's why it didn't happen overnight. I'm telling you, it took me 2 weeks to actually get up out of my bed and go sit in the living room. And that is why I'm saying, like, you just have to keep going, keep trying, keep pushing. It is hard. It is so hard. And nobody other than a mom, and a mom who has experienced depression in that state because of these reasons, will understand you, which is unfortunate. But you need people around you who are going to make you laugh, who are supporting you, who love you. That is important. It's so awful to hear that people don't have a support system. I promise you, all I can say is really try to seek God in your journey, and He will supply all your needs. And it's not going to happen overnight. I cannot stress that enough. It's not going to happen overnight. But keep trying, and you will get to a space where it becomes easier because your baby gets older. That's another thing. Your baby gets older. So things start to change after a while. Okay. This one says, when I didn't take the cute aesthetics monthly baby pictures that I so badly wanted to, the day came, the day came and I just wouldn't bring myself to do it. Then a week passed and a new month, and again and again. And I later noticed I had prenatal depression because I also never took monthly bump pics. I am now working on postpartum rage, 1.5 years deep, but we're seeing the end of the tunnel. 1.5 years. I'm telling you, it takes time. It takes so much time. My baby is 1 and almost 1.5. Like it takes so much time. And those are expectations that mother puts on themselves, like taking pictures of your bumps because we see the cute TikToks of the growth, or we want to remember those timings, although they are not the best for us. And that's important. Like, I took videos and I didn't post those videos because I look crazy. Like, some of the videos that I took, now I don't remember, what month my bumps were or how many weeks I was, because I tried to do it week by week. It didn't happen. I was in college. I was trying to hide my bump from everybody. Like, it was crazy, but those are expectations that we see from social media, and we expect ourselves to be able to do those because they're cute and they're happy and we want those for our lives, but it's not realistic because we're not in the state to even pick up a fork, like I said, and feed ourselves. I like to pick up a fork and eat. I could not pick up a fork and eat food. I like, if it wasn't for my mom, I probably would not have eaten. If it wasn't for my mom, I wouldn't have taken a shower. If it wasn't for my mom, I would barely use the bathroom. Like, it is so hard to think that we're going to be able to take these monthly pictures. I wanted to do them. Didn't happen because I did not, like, I just did not have the energy. And that is okay, because your baby will be with you for the rest of his or her life, and you will have the time to take the pictures and be happy once you get yourself together. That is what matters the most. Now, the bump pics, once we get past this, if you want to have another baby, that's just when that's going to have to come. It's so unfortunate. It is so unfortunate that we won't be able to experience those things unless we have another baby, and hopefully it will be 10 times better. But we have to hope and pray that it will be 10 times better, and we have to make sure we do the work to make sure that it's 10 times better. But that's the only other option. It is so unfortunate. Okay. It says, when I would get angry at my husband for getting off work late because I was so exhausted and ready for him to take the baby. He's a police officer, works 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. I would get so angry. Nothing I wore satisfied me. I hate everything on me. I didn't want to go anywhere because I never knew what to wear. I was angry at everything. That part, see what I mean? Like, with the postpartum rage, like, I wasn't angry. I was just really sad. Like, I was just really sad because, you know, my mom, she would be exhausted from work sometimes. Like, she gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and my baby, he didn't sleep at night. So he would cry during the night. She would, you know, try to come get him to console him when he was screaming. Like, he had some night things where he would just scream and cry for no reason. We had to calm him down. And so she would be exhausted. And these are the days where I was sitting in my room all day and I didn't get up to pee, or I didn't get up to eat, and I didn't get up to take a shower. Like, she would come home and she would want to go to sleep, and I'm just like, okay, I have to get up. I just had to get up. Those were some crazy times. And it's okay. Like, that is okay. It doesn't mean that you're depressed. Those are normal things. Unless, you know, the anger is beyond, you know, controllable. But it is okay to be upset at those things. I want people to know that. I want moms to know that it is okay, because you're the one that's taking care of the baby all day. And unfortunately, it is a tassel. It is a job. It is hard. And you don't have time for yourself. You don't, like, especially as a first-time mom, you just don't know sometimes what to do if you don't have the right role model or you don't have the help. It's just like, it's an experience that literally gets better with time. That is all that we can hope and pray, is that we can realize that the baby will get older and we can come out of this state where we feel like the baby is so dependent on us that we can't do anything for ourselves. It will get easier and it will get better. And that's what we have to look forward to. And I can say that now because I'm in it. And, you know, it's not always going to be that way. and other moms who have also been through these things. If you guys could comment as well, how you guys got through these things, that would work as well. I think that that's going to be the last one I'm going to talk about. And I'm just going to give you guys a little tips because I want this podcast to be for helping you guys. And so one thing that I will say, I don't know much about the rage, or she said she didn't like her body. I hated my body when I had my baby, and I didn't hate my body looking at my body. I hated it when I seen a picture because I was big and I didn't know I was big. I'm that big. I don't feel like I'm that big, and I couldn't do anything about it because I was breastfeeding and I had to eat all day in order just to supply a cup of milk for my baby. And so I want you guys to think about the good that you are doing for your baby, especially when it comes to weight, and especially if you're breastfeeding, or even if you're not breastfeeding, you just pushed out a baby and you brought life into this world, and that is okay. I do suggest that people can get a faja, or I don't know why I just call it a faja. My friend tells me faja. What is it called? A waist trainer. You can get a waist trainer. I do highly suggest getting a waist trainer. I do suggest getting a walking pad at home if you have the energy. If you don't, that is okay. I didn't have the energy to do anything. I started working out once my baby was 8 months, 9. No, I tried to work out once my baby was 8 months, and he was on there. I bought a little jumping thing so he can sit in and watch TV, and I watch TV, and I try to walk on my walking pad. It didn't work because I kept eating, so I had to wait till he was 1, and I decided that I was going to stop breastfeeding once he turned 1, and I walked on my walking pad, and then I started dancing. I just suggest that you do something that you love that makes you move your body. And not everybody likes to do that. I don't know, maybe you like riding your bike, or just something that you can also do with your baby. That is what I suggest. But also, I highly, highly suggest getting a waist trainer. You can wear it around the house. You can wear it with your baby. I do suggest that people get something to carry your baby in, so you can do household things if you have to carry your baby on you, especially if you have anxiety about leaving them in the crib, because I couldn't do it. I just could not leave my baby in the crib, so I would carry him around with me while I'm washing the dishes or cleaning my room. That's another thing. I couldn't clean a thing. I couldn't do anything once I had my baby, but I tried as best as I could, and that's all I'm telling you guys to do, is try the best that you can. If you just have the slight energy to do something for one day, all it takes is for you to get up one day, and you will want to do it tomorrow because it makes you feel good. And so just try to do it one day, just one, and see how you feel. And I really do pray that you guys understand the power of prayer, because praying is talking to God, and He will listen. He will listen to His mothers. He will listen. And I promise you that if you just talk to Him, have a relationship with Him, that He will make you realize He has a plan, and that everything happens for a reason, and you will be okay. And I hope that listening to this help you understand that you're not alone, and that there are thousands and thousands of women who are going through the same thing as you. And so yes, if you guys would like to tell your story, please email me your story, and if you want your name in it, I will. If you don't want your name or anything to do, we don't have to do that. If you want your social media, we can tag you, all those things. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please leave a comment. Please like and share to all of the mothers who need a safe space. Bye guys, love you.